Folks, it's the Hump Day Haul. It's June 10th, 2015, right? I was going to say 14. 2015, this is the Hump Day Haul number 39. This is where I tell you about the stack of comics I get each week. You know, no big whoop. Some weeks I got more than others. This one, I think we got about 10. The majority of which are DC. And, you know, after this week, geez, I never realized how dependent my comic book hauls were on DC books. And I got 6 of them this week, and we fell into Star Wars syndrome again this week. Meaning, last week I had a haul, and there were 3 Star Wars titles that came out in 1 week. And this week, it seems to have happened for me with Batman. Oh my lord. Pretty much predominantly Batman universe titles completely. So this week we got Batman, and this is a bombshell, baby. This is huge. Who is this rabbit ear character on the front cover? This rabbit eared mech. Take a look at that. Get a gander of that, folks. Capullo drawing Batman as a mech. It's like a mech suit, people. Now, I don't know if your comic book shop did this, but mine did. When you bought this title this week, DC is giving out blueprints of the new Batman suit. And I'm going to warn you guys, okay? In this week's haul, there's going to be some major spoilers, all right? Major spoilers. If you're pretty much into comics, you probably know where I'm going to get at with this Batman stuff. So if you don't want to watch and you don't want to have spoilers, especially with Batman number 41, I suggest you leave now. Don't cry about it. I warned you. Okay, Batman is dead, as we all know. Or, you know, wink, wink, he's dead. He's taking a vacation, okay? Endgame happened. That was what the big story arc was before Convergence happened. Batman, Joker, dueled to the death. They're both dead, supposedly. Now, we know, come on, we all know that he's not dead. He's just taking probably like a little bit of a vacation. And now a new character, not a new character, but there's a new guy that is Batman. And I'm going to tell you, it's, spoiler alert, it is none other than Commissioner Gordon. And guess what? This Batman, because it's Commissioner Gordon, is completely sanctioned by the cops. It's no longer like Batman is a vigilante. It is now, as Jerry Powers puts, Jerry Powers is a new character in this who is the designer of the Batsuit. It is a Batman with checks and balances. A Batman with checks and balances. Police sanctioned. Not only do you get the new bunny rabbit suit, but the suit underneath is new as well. And that is Commissioner Gordon in that suit, people. I don't know if you could tell, but look at that. Look at that sleek, streamlined suit. What I want to know is how the hell is Commissioner Gordon going to be able to do the stuff that Batman does when he's out of the suit? So that's what I'm wondering. Is he going to be able to jump around at all or what? And I don't think so. And you might be even wondering, how the hell old is Commissioner Gordon? And they say that he's 46. I thought the dude was like in his 50s. At least. But I guess he's 46, folks. Still. I mean, when you look at Batman, Bruce Wayne, he's a guy who's like in this superior, superb condition. And then you're going from Commissioner Gordon. I know he's got, you know, the special bunny suit and all that, but I'm really looking forward to see how they make that work. I don't know if the suit underneath has a lot of real special powers. I didn't really get into it that far, but that's where we're at. There's another little look at the suit there with Jim Gordon looking at it. It's like a 10-foot tall suit, people. See, he says it grows on you. It is like a 10-foot tall suit. No joke. There's also a new villain that they face in this. I'll keep that a secret, but interesting stuff. And I really look forward to it, and I want to know what you guys think. So I guess we'll find out. So be sure to ask your shop if they have the Batman blueprint. I don't know, maybe I'll do it as like a giveaway or something. One other thing, it's very cheap, flimsy paper. Come on, DC. You know, like when Marvel gave out their nice map of Battleworld, this is like a laminated freaking placemat. I mean, you could eat off of this thing, you know, and use it as a freaking placemat. I would love to get like 3 or 4 more of these, and I can do that, you know? Invite some people over for dinner. I mean, look, we can hear it. You hear that? I mean, what's up with that? I mean, come on. And then you got this. I don't know. I guess I should be happy, right? I should be thankful. You know, girlfriend says I should be thankful for things. I don't know. Who knows? All right. More new Batman Commissioner Gordon mech suit in Detective Comics number 41. Now, I want to raise another question in here because it seems that there's like continuity in all these issues and they all kind of, you know, relate to one another. Now, maybe some of them are on a different timeline. Some of them are not. Now, this issue focuses on Harvey Bullock and the relationship that Harvey's going to have, I guess, with Jim Gordon now as Batman mech suit man. I don't know, whatever you want to call him. I don't know what they're even calling him. But interesting. Now you have the team of Buccellato and Manipool doing the script and the story. They do have a new artist in this book. It is Fernando Blanco. And it's very, very different than, I think, was it Buccellato or Manipool that did the art for all this time? I don't know. Somebody help me out. But the art is very different. Very, very different. Almost reminds me sort of Catwoman. Pretty dark purple hues, which you guys all know are my favorite. But I don't know. I don't know if this is going to lean towards focusing on Harvey and Batman as like a crackpot team or what. But you do get the same Batman in the mech suit in here, okay? So it's not just limited to the Batman title. I mean, he's all over in here. It's Commissioner Gordon. Not only in Detective Comics, but also Batman freaking Superman came out. That's an Adrian Sif cover. I love this cover. And there's a lot going on in this, too. This is the continuation of the Truth storyline. Superman's been stripped of his powers. Everybody knows that, I guess, Superman was Clark Kent. Clark Kent is Superman, so the cat's out of the bag on that. Interestingly, in this issue, Superman, a.k.a. Clark Kent, doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is dead yet. And he learns about Bruce Wayne dying from someone who was dear and close to Bruce Wayne. I'm not going to say who it is, but I know you guys can guess. I mean, come on, who's always been there for him? And it's kind of touching, you know? It's touching and it's sad. And it looks like when Bruce Wayne, see, I keep thinking Batman Bruce Wayne. It looks like when Commissioner Gordon comes and meets Batman for the first time, they are not exactly friends, and they don't exactly get along, and Superman gets a nice knuckle sandwich, or Clark Kent formerly having the powers of Superman, however you want to say it, man, I'm all messed up, but Knuckle Sandwich City. So I'm really looking forward to reading about this, and I'm just surprised. I mean, is Batman, like, dead in every comic? Like, is he dead in any other series that he's in Justice League? Is he now this guy too? I don't know. I never read Justice League. So maybe if you guys could let me know, and let me know what you think of that, okay? Now, in Catwoman, this is a Joker variant cover, by the way. This month, it is all Joker variant covers. I love this cover. I thought the other Joker variant covers for the other issues I got kind of sucked, but I really, really like this one with the boxing glove thing and Joker getting knocked out, and I love the way that that looks. But anyway, Catwoman finds out in this issue that Bruce Wayne is dead, okay? They tell her He's dead. So also in this world, too, Batman is dead. She finds out right here. Someone shows them their eye touch, whatever the hell you want to call it. She kind of plays it off, you know, she's in front of other people, Selina Kyle, she plays it off like it's no big deal, you know. But then when she gets up the stairs, check out her arm there, going up the stairs, she is clearly distraught. Oh my lord. We all know the backstory between Catwoman and Batman. There's always been that sexual tension. Then look who comes to her rescue. It's the woman that Batman, or that Catwoman, oh my god, I'm all messed up. The Catwoman has been having her bisexual love affair with. The woman from the Japanese crime syndicate, I forget what her name is, that was running around and pretending to be Catwoman in the last Catwoman story arc. So, big ups to Genevieve Valentine for throwing that in there. I like that. I like that they're extending the whole bisexuality storyline angle with Catwoman. I think it's great. I want to see more of that. And I'll tell you what, one of the main themes of this issue is, in this new story arc, is that Catwoman wants to find out what happened to Bruce Wayne. So I'm wondering how much all these are going to, you know, intertwine and intermingle. And I thought that when DC said they were rebooting everything, that they weren't going to be doing all this, right? Didn't they say that it was going to be not so focused on continuity and that the comic books were really going to kind of have their own stories, so to speak, and not really kind of cross over one into the other as much? And it just seems like nothing like that changed. I mean, I don't know. I mean, personally, I'm not really mad about it, but that's what I kind of thought DC was doing. And then, like, a lot of these titles are just strict continuations of what happened before Convergence, like this. I mean, they say that Catwoman's donning the catsuit in this, but when I leaf through it, she's barely even in it again. You know, she's hardly in it at all. Like, in the end, she kind of throws it on and says, yeah, I'm going to go look for Batman. But pretty much it's just, you know, her, you know, and her feuds with the Mafia. So, I don't know. I'm going to keep giving Catwoman a chance. Talk about a comic book that has had 9 lives for me. We all know that I put comics on the keep or sleep list, and that really proves how many 9 lives that Catwoman really has, because I just keep giving it chance after chance after chance. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Maybe Catwoman is going to find Bruce Wayne. So that'll be cool. I don't know. I think it would be great maybe if they revealed it in her comic, because I think it just needs some life breathed into it. Okay, another Gotham-related comic. And I know she's in, what, Coney Island, isn't she? She's in New York City. She's no longer in Gotham, but we got Harley Quinn and her gang of Harleys. As we know, previously, before Convergence, again, continuity here takes off right where it left off after Convergence. Harley Quinn has assembled her gang of Harleys. Previously, before this, we kind of saw her rounding them all up. And I forget, there's something like 12 of them. There's something like 12 Harley Quinns. Now, I mean, it raises a lot of questions, right? Do they really need to do this? Like, does Harley Quinn really need to have an ensemble cast of other Harley Quinns? It's almost like, I feel like it's Spider-Verse or something like that, right? Like, why are we having all these Harleys, you know, and they're all dressed up like her, you know? Well, obviously, a gang of Harleys, but how much are they going to devote to developing each one of these characters is what I wonder. And that was one of the huge complaints that I had about Spider-Verse, right? Which I did. I really enjoyed the story, but it almost seemed like they just barely touched upon each spider, right? There were so many spiders that I wanted to learn more about, like Spider-Man India and Spider-Man UK. Just so many of them that I wanted to learn about. I wanted more Spider-Ham, you know? Peter Porker. It always works, you know? And I just felt disappointed in that way, because Harley Quinn has so much going on for her that I guess one of the premises is, you know, she's spread too thin in her life, right? Not only does she kind of do her heroin antics and wants to fight crime, but she's also a psychiatrist, right? She's also involved in, like, roller derby. She's also trying to have an active dating life. She has to hang out with, like, Poison Ivy. She does stuff with Power Girl. I mean, how much more stuff can she do? And you might say, Phil, well, that's the point. That's why she got the gang of Harleys to kind of help her out. Oh, I forgot, too, she's also a landlord. I mean, she's got, like, all this shit going on, and it just seems like I wonder how this is going to work and how well they're going to develop these characters. And when I leafed through this issue, it really just seemed predominantly Harley Quinn, you know, and they didn't really seem to develop too much of the other characters. So maybe I'm just expecting too much. There's Harley Quinn waiting to see the mayor. Isn't Chad Harding's artwork incredible? I always loved Chad Harding. And it's the same team. You got Connor and Palmlottie doing this. So it's a team that has been together the whole time. Chad Harding does the artwork for the whole... Excuse me. Allergies still. Chad Harding does the artwork for the whole issue, which is nice. You know, they didn't split up the artwork. And I think Chad Harding's definitely my favorite Harley Quinn artist. So I guess we'll see. Also, it's interesting to know, too, like, doesn't Harley Quinn seem like she just functions so much better without the Joker in her life, right? It seems like when the Joker's around, it just seems like she's very, very dysfunctional, right? And she's cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And when she's away from the Joker, she just seems so much more, you know, stable and well-adjusted. And it's an interesting commentary, and I don't know if they're really, you know, the writers are really getting us to try to focus on that, but it was something that I really thought about, you know. She just seems to do a lot better that she's away from the Joker, who's clearly abusive to her. So it's interesting that, you know, she always kind of ends up going back to him or having some sort of relation, right? I would love to see them develop more of a storyline around that, if they haven't already. Maybe they have. But that would be a really interesting thing to talk about, too. You know? Comics are really kind of exploring PTSD issues and stuff like that, but how about, you know, some kind of DV issue, you know, that, like, Harley Quinn's been involved in. You know, I hate to get all serious on you guys, but I just think that would be an interesting angle to look at. All right. Oh, and I forgot, they gave away, too, a free Harley Quinn mask. And I don't know how the heck this, it just, I think you got to, like, bend it up on your face. But how do I look? Is this like Caitlin Kuts here? Caitlin Kuts here? Do you guys want me to wear this this for the rest of the thing or what? Huh? It's kind of freaky, right? All right. Anyway, so don't forget your mask at your local comic book shop. Now, I did get one new DC title this month. I decided to jump on Constantine the Hellblazer. They started over. Apparently, I'll be honest with you guys, I don't know much about Constantine at all. I know that there was a TV show that NBC was showing based on the comic, and it got canceled. It only lasted one season. I heard it was pretty horrible. I did see Constantine way back in the day with Keanu Reeves as Constantine. I don't really remember too much about it. I just remember that he smoked a lot. And they kind of were getting on his case a lot about smoking. You know, hey, you should quit. And he didn't care. He didn't give a fuck. He did what he wanted to do. Now, apparently, that's the Constantine that's going to be presented in this issue. More of a less weighted Constantine, meaning he doesn't have as much of a conscience. He's kind of more like a sociopath in this. And you got to love when, in the very first page, you see Constantine all bloodied and naked, hiding his cock. And trying to impress, I guess, a woman, or trying to tell her it's not what it looks like. And I guess he's just a suave motherfucker, you know? Like in Blue Velvet, suave, you are so suave. And that's really what's happening in this. So I thought that'd be interesting. Kind of like the hero or an anti-hero with just kind of no conscience. He sees demons. He's fighting demons. And I guess we're looking at a return to form for him. So you guys let me know. I don't know. I guess they said that the new 52 Constantine kind of had more of a conscience and felt weighted down by all the things that he was doing. And a lot of people felt that that was just not a true representation of the Hellblazer. So you guys let me know if there's any long-time Hellblazer fans out there. Let me know, because I'm really looking forward to getting into that, and I hope I enjoy it. So far, the reviews have been really good for it. Speaking of horror, Harrow County, Cullen, Bunn, Tyler Crook, amazing artwork in here. If you're into horror comics, just get this, okay? This apparently tells the origin of the female character in this, the young woman who's just turned 18, and you're getting hints that she's either a reborn witch that was killed 18 years ago hanging from a tree outside her house, or that maybe she's the daughter of this witch. The way the story ended last month, she kind of found this skin of like a boy or of a man. It was literally like, think Hellraiser. If you ever saw Hellraiser, you know the part where Julia kind of is falling down into the Leviathan and her skin gets ripped off of her and she slips off. Like literally her skin, like a snake molting its skin, or a tarantula. She finds this of a human being, and this skin kind of comes to life. You can see this here. That's the skin that she's holding. She literally found this in the woods. She starts becoming like psychotic. She starts thinking that not only that this skin creature's talking to her and speaking to her, but she's also seeing and feeling. She's having tactile hallucinations of like cuts being formed on her face, and she looks in the mirror and it looks like she has cuts, but then they disappear. So there's some sort of psychosis going on here. Here's a better look at the face. But this guy kind of tells her the origin story of her, of what's going on. She starts to have more visions and has like a dream sequence, as you can see here. In the Technicolor dream here, you see her in the fetal position. That's in the burrow of a tree. Kind of similar to witches, right? Witches, burrows, but I'm enjoying this story better than witches because it seems a lot more clear. See that? It's kind of like her giving life, and then there's death there. So, I don't know. I got to read through this and interpret it better. But a mob forms outside her house. And I guess it was like the same mob that killed either her when she was in that form or her mother. I don't know yet. I'm just kind of grasping at straws from leafing through the issue, and that's kind of what I gathered out of it. But if you like creepy horror and kind of unsettling horror, this will be the book for you. Cullen Bunn is an amazing writer. I mean, he also does like Sinestro. He does Lobo. He does a whole bunch of other titles that I just can't think right now. He seems to be like one of the hot writers right now. I think he's kind of up there with Snyder, you know. Very, very hot. Him, you know, Williamson. Those are the guys I like. And speaking of Williamson, we got Birthright number 8. Torinos and Earth just keep merging together, the two different worlds, the fantasy world of Torinos, the reality of Earth. It just keeps molding one into the other. Each issue we kind of find out more about Mikey, the 5-year-old boy turned Conan the Barbarian, who now looks very demonic and pissed off, and it also seems like he's possessed. See that demon guy over his shoulder talking in his voice? So we keep learning more and more about kind of what's weighing him down and what his intentions are. You know, we kept getting little peeks and glimpses of it, but now it's just starting to come to fruition, and I really am enjoying this story. Look at the coloring here of this world. And I swear to God, I'm going to get a better camera. because this doesn't do it any justice. But if you like high fantasy, you're going to love this book. You are going to love this book. I mean, who doesn't love Final Fantasy like ostrich-looking Jurassic Park riding creatures? I mean, come on. So Birthright, definitely one of my favorite independent comics right now from Image, and it's here to stay on the pull list, people. I hope you get it. Another one, another Image comic next, which is very, very enjoyable. The story of hunted and persecuted robots. Descender. The story of Tim 21 continues. He's on the run. Bounty hunters are after robots. They're hated in this universe. The artwork by Dustin Gwynn, who does Little Gotham, is crazy good. I love the coloring. I love everything about this book. It's another great high fantasy book, but in the future. And it kind of reminds me of something that maybe William K. Dick would have wrote. You know, it's interesting. Very, very interesting book, and I'm enjoying it immensely. There's the driller robot that actually saved Tim 21 last time. Now, I don't know if there's multiple Tim 21s throughout the universe left, because it was a type of robot, or if this is the final Tim 21, and you really start to feel for him, and he shows emotions, and you learn more and more about him. Sounds like someone's fighting outside my neighborhood. Can you hear it? Something always great's going on in my neighborhood, let me tell you. All right, let's move on. We got Nameless, number 4. This is Grant Morrison. Basically, giant asteroid is headed towards Earth. If it crashes on Earth, it's all over, people. But this crew of astronauts has boarded the boarded the asteroid, and crazy things start happening. They get kind of crazy, psychotic, and scary, scary stuff happens. As this is going on, the story becomes a little bit more clear, but it's very, very, multi-layered. I mean, it's Grant Morrison, for Christ's sakes. I guess a lot of his stuff is like that. A lot of his stuff can be confusing, but there seems to be more clarity. There seems to be more eerie, gross, disgusting images. Macabre images. So, yes, I know I'm a very horror-heavy person. Horror-heavy, gruely kind of person. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Prometheus. These guys are searching the caverns, and they just keep finding things and keep getting surprised. There's like a city on this asteroid, I guess, if I recall. So very, very interesting stuff. And who doesn't love bubonic plague rats? I mean, look at this. There are your friends. Good rat, bad rat. More bad rats. Scared rat. Check it out, all right? Nameless. Now, finally, my final issue of the haul this month is from Amigo Comics, and this was a surprise. This was a pleasant surprise. I was at the shop today. Normally I go through a process when I go to the shop, right? I go into the shop. I kind of know already what I'm going to buy, but sometimes my pull list is so big that I forget, right? So I always utilize Fresh Comics, to tell me about what's out, what the new releases are, and I use it on my phone. So I round up all my other comics. That's usually what I do first. I get my floppies first. Then I always go over to the trade section. Fresh Comics, they either do or they don't tell you what trades are out. But anyway, I always peruse the trades because they always put the new trades in the first row. So I get my floppies first. Then I go over and I peruse the trades. And I don't know, usually once a month I buy a new trade. So I'm looking at the trades, and one of the employees, female, at Earthworld, I forget her name, I'm so bad with names, she kind of sneaks up behind me, and then sits to the side of me, and I kind of see someone in the peripheral of my vision. I didn't really know it was her, and she's holding this here like this in my peripheral vision. I look over, I'm like, what? I turn around, she gives me this big smile on her face, and then I realize why she was holding it like that. Roman Ritual number 4 from Amigo Comics, El Torres, Horror Master, Jaime Martinez. I tried to get this a month ago, and the comic book shop didn't have it. And I was so disappointed because I got issues 1 through 3. It was one of those situations where issue 1 came out, and then there was like this huge break in between 1 and 2, right? There was like something like a ridiculously long break, like 3 or 4 hours. 3 or 4 hours. 3 or 4 months. Wow, I'm way off today. 3 or 4 months. You know, I'd almost forgotten about Roman Ritual. So then I got Roman Ritual 2, and then, like, on schedule next month, Roman Ritual 3 came out, and then I guess the month after that, Roman Ritual 4 should have came out, but it didn't. And I was so disappointed. They tried to help me find it. They couldn't. Everything on their system said that they couldn't get it anymore. And then somehow, lo and behold, it appears. And I'm so happy because I really, really enjoy this book. It's kind of like the Pope is possessed. That's right. The Pope of the Catholic Church gets possessed. And I guess in this is the final issue, issue number 4. I guess we learn where the demons came in through the Vatican. You just see all kinds of religious figures being possessed. Priests. I mean, look at that. This is so scary. You see statues turning to skeletons. You actually have the Pope, like I said, is possessed. Maybe I won't show that. I'll leave that to your guys' imagination. But we got all kinds of scary looking nuns, bleeding Virgin Mary statues, you know, all the tropes, which, you know, I love it, okay? I love it. And I can't wait to see what happens in this issue. But lots of scary, macabre images, like horrifying images, if you ask me. And I love this stuff. I can't get enough of it. So I'm really happy. I'm probably going to send a tweet out to El Torres, let him know that I got this before. He's responded to my tweets before. So check it out. If you can get a hold of Roman Ritual, I highly recommend it. Support independent comics. This is by Amigo Comics, and I can't wait for the Westward Witches to come out. There's a nice preview there. I can't wait to see what that's all about, and that's by El Torres as well. All right, guys. We are going to have to pick a cover of the week. I didn't pick one last week. I apologize. But I think you guys probably can already guess what one I'm going to pick. There were actually quite a few good ones. But my cover of the week this week is probably going to be... Oh my God, this is hard. Here are the finalists. We either have Batman Superman, number 21, or we have Catwoman. Catwoman, Joker variant cover, or Batman Superman. Commissioner Gordon Batman. I'm going to go with... Oh, God. I'm going to go with... Catwoman. Catwoman number 41. All right, guys. You guys have a good week, and you let me know what comic books you got, what ones you're looking forward to, and if you have any suggestions for the haul, you just let me know. All right? Number 39 in the books. Peace, and have a great day.